Hi everyone, my name is David, and I'm here this evening running a game of Monsterhearts 2 as part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. So the Gauntlet Hangouts are the Gauntlet is a role-playing community online. The Hangouts are part of that, where essentially we have a calendar where we schedule games that we play together online. We also have a monthly gaming zine called the Codex. There's a blog and other cool stuff. You can check it out at the website, which is www.gauntlet-rpg.com. Had to remember that. So yeah, this evening we're playing a game of Monsterhearts 2. This is a Powered by the Apocalypse game by Avery Alder about playing teenage monsters. In this instance, we're playing in St. Osana's School for Boys, a boarding school in England in the 1960s. So it's a slightly different tweak on the usual style. This week we will be wrapping up this particular series of it. So this will be the last episode. I'm just going to ask all the players to introduce themselves. If you can give me name, pronouns, and if you want to pimp something you've done recently or something cool you've seen on the internet or anything else, then feel free to go ahead. My name is David. I use he, him pronouns. In keeping with the theme from the last couple of weeks, I'm actually going to pimp another bit of Gauntlet actual play. Another Monsterhearts one. This one is Patrick Knowles. Once again, we return, which, if that phrase sounds familiar to you, is a slight hack of Monsterhearts 2 to fit in with the world of the Wicked and Divine comic series by Kieran Gillen. It's what I really like about that. In particular, I mean, Patrick's a great GM who runs a really good game with a good group of players. But what I really like is, in keeping with the theme of Wicked and Divine, he makes use of a lot of music in between scenes in the game, which is something I've wholeheartedly stolen for this. I think it's because for me, part of my attraction to running in this particular time period was the music from that time. So that's my choice for this evening. Again, links will be available for that down in the bottom. And then, if we can go through just in the order of the character keeper, please, just to keep it simple.
Hello, I'm Ferret or Sawyer. I use he, him pronouns or whatever people want to call me because I don't care. And I am playing Lysander Owens, the most innocent, sweet, mild-mannered ghoul that has ever been in a Monsterhearts game. Has not eaten anyone, has not caused massive headaches for anyone, is perfect, and I'm not a good liar right now, so I'll just say that he's gotten himself into so much trouble, I don't see how he's going to get himself out of it, which is part of the fun of this. And I'm going to pimp out just basic antacids, because while I may be playing a teenager, I am not one anymore, and they have helped this week.
Hi, my name is Sławek. I play a character named Callum. He's the local witch who tries to manipulate everybody, but as his colleagues showed him quite quickly, he's not indestructible, and he's been in hospital for the past couple days or so. And the thing I would like to pimp is a game called Bite Me. It's currently on Kickstarter, and it's written by Becky Annison, for disclosure. It's a wonderful person and totally deserves your money. Go check it out.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Emmett Clay, the impressionable, volatile hollow, who has also gotten himself into a lot of trouble and stabbed somebody, but it's fine because it was Lysander. And I would like to shout out Fraser Simon's Uncanny Echoes, which I just bought. I've been reading through it. It looks amazing, and I'm really excited to try it. And I'm Mike Pansiera. I am playing as Shawn, and Shawn is an infernal obsessed with his relationship with a dark power that he makes bargain with in exchange for a sense that actually he has moved beyond his sexuality and is free of it, even though we know that that's actually an illusion created by this quite evil dark power, Lovecraft-esque maybe. And yes, my website where I have content is wovenhead.itch.io. Something that has been interesting to me lately is the game PBTA game Farflung, which is a sci-fi game with lots of really wacky and cool playbooks, including one for a Time Lord and one for a living ship and all this other kind of stuff.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah, so like I said, I'll just like everyone, if I can just tell you, I know we've had brief introductions already, but if we could just give just a quick character introduction, let us know what you got up to last time, and yeah, as I said, as this is our last session today, if you could all give me one thing you want to try and do, one scene you'd like to have, and we will try our best to make that happen. Yep.
Lysander last time was led to the dark power, had an emotional time about it, got stabbed, got better, and ate a vampire, which, as you do, I guess. It never happened in Buffy, but this isn't Buffy. And I believe the scene I would like, I don't know how it'll turn out, but I would like a scene where I was able to admit Lysander's feelings for Shawn.
Excellent. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, Emmett, last time, let's see, he wandered into a cathedral, found a weird old knife, took the knife with him, because why not? The knife told, in the middle of the night, the knife told him to stab Lysander in his sleep. And most recently, he just witnessed Lysander eating Adrian, whom Emmett had been sort of conspiring with to take Lysander down a notch. And as far as scenes, still trying to work that out exactly, but I do want like a confrontation, be that physical or otherwise, with whatever dark entity is speaking to him through the knife and telling him to stab people.
Nice. I'm sure we can arrange something there.
Can I go last? Because I'm not entirely certain what happened last episode.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Yes, so I am Shawn. Yeah, so when we encountered Shawn, it was Lysander ran into Shawn as they were in the middle of the night, kind of walking around campus, and Shawn was shaking and lost, didn't know where he was, trying to find the bar where the dark power resides, and Lysander was willing to go with him, and in exchange for handing over Lysander to the dark power made a promise that the dark power would show up at home or in the dorm or be with him more, which is what Shawn wants. And what I want, the scene I want, I don't know if it would be a whole scene, but some kind of vision or more with this dark power. Really a gaze into the abyss role is probably what it would be. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and Slavak, if you want to let us know about. I mean, obviously, your last time is somewhat truncated, but
yeah. So I suppose that Callum was trying to get out of hospital as quickly as possible, but it's not as easy with concussion. He's got stuff to do. As a player, I think I would like him to get pushed into a situation he doesn't really want to be in, but he can't run or hide or give any excuses, but rather get his hands dirty and put himself out of comfort zone for drama and maybe some results. We'll see about that.
Yeah, excellent. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for that. So that's cool. Okay, so before we begin playing, I will just quickly go over our safety tools. So playing games in the Gauntlet, there's a couple of safety tools we use to ensure that we all have a good time playing the game, or as close as we can anyway. So one of the most important things is not a specific tool, but we play under the Gauntlet inclusivity policy, which boiled down basically means that we accept we're all here to have fun with each other, to play fun games. Sometimes our characters may come into conflict. In fact, in this game, often our characters will come into conflict. But that's something we're doing in character, not something that's between us players. So we treat each other as friends. We give each other benefit of the doubt. Basic stuff, really, and that hopefully should go without being said. But we're saying it anyway, just to make sure. We also, as part of that, we also have what we call the open table policy, which basically just means that if for whatever reason you're not able to, you don't feel like you can continue playing the game, whether that's because something's come up that you're not comfortable with, or just personal comfort, there's an emergency, anything really, then you're always free to just walk away. You don't need to explain yourselves. If you do want to let me know, do message me, particularly if there's sort of been some content or something that's come up that you was upsetting or what have you. But that's you are under no requirements to do so. The same goes if you just need to take a quick break, just a quick 5-minute break or whatever. Again, feel free to do so. Again, you let me know if you can, but you don't have to. So that's that. We also, before we started playing, we've had sort of discussion on our lines and veils. These are essentially things that lines are things that we will not include in this game at all. They won't pick up as part of people's backgrounds. They won't come up in any fashion in the game. Veils are things that we can feature in the game, but we won't focus on. They'll happen off screen. They'll be alluded to. We'll cut away from the specific moment, whatever works. We've had a discussion about that off camera. We have a list of those that we're working from, but I tend to make it a policy not to share that publicly, so we're not. The final sort of our sort of emergency tool is the X card. What the X card is basically just a way of calling the game to a halt for a moment. This you can sort of trigger the X card by holding your hands up in a sort of an X shape in front of the camera, saying X card, I want to X that, whatever, writing X or multiple X's in the chat channel at the side. Any way of basically getting the message across that we just need to stop for a moment. The X card can be used particularly if there's content you're not happy with continuing exploring. If it's uncomfortable or you just don't enjoy it, then we can just stop and move on. It might be because you think something's tonally off, or you just don't like the way that something's going. As well, that's also fine. So yeah, if somebody does use the X card, we'll just stop where we are for a minute. I might ask the person who's done it to explain exactly what it is that we're wanting to avoid if it's not obvious from context, and we'll just move on. And that's it. There's no need for discussion. There's no need to justify why you've said you want to X that. That's fine. If you get X carded, don't take it as a personal slight. It's, like I said, we're all here to have fun, and sometimes we don't know what we're not going to enjoy until it's already happening, and that's what the X card is for, just as a way of stopping it before it gets too far. So yeah, I said if you feel the need to X anything, do so. And I think with that, we will begin. So I'm going to say it's maybe the same day as the events from last time, but later in the day. As classes are over. I've blanked the name. Adrian's absence has been perhaps noted, but there's nothing. There's no particular suspicion falling around it at the moment. You will all be in the dorm after classes. Sorry, not in the dorm. You'll be in the study hall downstairs, doing your homework, whatever. So
I suppose that Colin would try to get someone to give him notes from the lessons he's missed.
Yep, that sounds good.
Something I would need to do regardless. So are there any volunteers?
Yeah. Who do you think you might ask? Either a player character or an NPC.
I think you'd probably not like to ask anybody, and I think that's the point. But maybe he'd ask Lysander for it, just to rub it in his face that he's still alive.
Sure.
Or maybe Emmett. I'm not sure. Who do you guys think would be more distressed?
Well, I think Emmett would feel. I think Emmett feels bad. Like, he's not comfortable around you, but like he'd give you the notes because he feels bad for putting you in the hospital accidentally.
Right.
How did Callum end up in the hospital?
He was being all creepy and weird, and he like found out that Emmett was a golem and was being all creepy and weird and shoulder touchy, and Emmett freaked out and punched him really hard with his golem strength.
Yep, did not end well.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, if we want to come in on that with Callum approaching Emmett.
Sure. Okay, I thought that might sort of lead somewhere, but let's start at the beginning. So Callum sort of hobbles to Emmett's desk, exaggerating his distress, and he has this like a maybe a little bit unnecessary, but certainly very poetic dressing on his head. Where a large sort of swollen area still reddens his visage. Oh, so Emmett, fun seeing you here. I was hoping you would keep notes for me for the past few days. I'm sure you missed me.
I didn't. But yeah, I can give you notes. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it will work. But I'm still missing one more thing.
What are you missing, Callum?
I suppose an apology.
I'm sorry for hitting you really hard.
Oh, don't mention it. It's perfectly fine. We'll talk more
It's not. It's,
later.
no, it's not. I mean, I feel bad
No, it
that I
totally
put you in the
is.
hospital.
No, it totally is. It was worth paying the price to see your true strength.
Why are you like this?
I'm just curious. You can't really fault me for taking an interest in you as a person.
You just really don't know when to let well enough alone, do you?
I don't know what you mean. We're just friends, aren't we?
Here, have some notes.
I look at the notes. Are these just random notes, or is it like a cherished notebook that you really like?
Oh no, like the class notes that you were asking about.
Right. So, well, these look disappointingly mundane. I suppose I'll have to leave it for now.
I'm not a great note taker. Sorry.
That's not what I meant. He turns around and starts walking away slowly.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's probably a shutdown there. That's
Okay. Are these still all right?
yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
So that's a 4, and it's that's a 6. Do I have any strings, Emmett? Yes. So I'm spending a string on Emmett to get +1, and I'm at 7.
Nice. Okay, so when you're shutting someone down, on a 7 to 9, you can choose one of the following options. You can make Emmett lose a string on you if he has one, or if he doesn't, you can make him. You can gain a string on him. You can give him a condition, or you can just take one forward to your next roll.
Right, and I think I'm going to we got a lot of conditions. Oh, you kind of do.
Give me more. I get experience when I get conditions.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a condition, and I'm going to give you a condition. I want to give you a condition that kind of makes you uncomfortable with anticipation of what might come next between us. I don't know, sort of not really anxious, but maybe help me a little bit, please. No, anxious would work, yeah. On the second thought. That's perfect.
Sure thing. And Emmett, you get to give Callum a condition in return because he only rolled a 7.
Okay. What's a good single word version of essentially what Emmett said about him not knowing when to stop or shut up?
Incessant.
Yeah. I was thinking that, or nosy.
Nosy doesn't. I like incessant.
Yeah, cool. No, that's fine.
Was Lysander involved at all in this scene with where Callum got put to the hospital? You just weren't there.
In the aftermath of it, but not in the actual scene itself.
Oh, I've got another question. I've had 2 conditions before: troublemaker and couth. Would either of these disappear due to my hospital stay, or rather not?
I think we'll say uncouth has probably dropped off. That doesn't feel particularly relevant anymore. I think because you didn't name names when you were in hospital, troublemaker will still be there.
Was that exchange between Emmett and Callum loud enough that the rest of the study room would have seen it?
Well, Callum definitely don't want to bring any attention to himself. So unless Emmett,
Yeah, I don't expect Emmett would intentionally be loud enough. I imagine somebody that was like paying attention would have been able to hear it, but it would not have been like if you're just doing your own thing.
Okay, that answers my
But
question.
Callum could have bumped into you just because he's a klutz.
Oh no, I know exactly what's happening because Shawn's supposed to sit behind me, and there needs to be a new Juliet, and I'm going to work my magic. and I have no idea that you saw me eat someone, so this will be going fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lysander is sitting on his desk, just looking out the window, fingers drumming on his chin as he tries to imagine how much force he could exert on that new fangled AC before it plummeted to the ground. So, you want to get out of here again today after school, Shawn?
Shawn is like tapping his foot really rapidly and staring at his papers. He's drawing like boxes with the Victorian machine, and he looks a little bit sick. And he looks up at you. Today, I'm not feeling all that well.
That's why I asked. Last time you didn't feel that well. We went there and you got pretty fit after that.
Where was the invitation to? The bar?
The bar, yeah, the Scourge.
Oh. I don't think they serve what I want anymore.
Yeah.
Swallows uncomfortably.
Lysander turns slowly and gives sort of a grin. And what is it that you do want?
Is that turning me on?
Trying to. Oh god, I gotta use hot this time. That's gonna go well. But you are my prize, so woo.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So, as you're sort of about to lay on the charm, I don't know quite where I went there. The door to the study room opens, and the familiar figure of Mr. Dunt comes through the door. Hello there, boys. I have an exciting announcement for you all. We have a new student starting with us. He was due to unforeseen circumstances, he was a little late to join us. To welcome him here, and I'm sure you will all make him feel at home here in Fisher House. And he will kind of step aside from the door and beckon through another boy. He looks probably similar. New, very precise.
Sorry, I lost all audio.
Same. did not hear anything David just said.
Is that working now? Cool. Sorry about that. Yeah. Did you say you didn't catch any of what I just said? Yeah,
Sadly,
fine.
nothing.
No worries. I will start from the beginning again. Yeah, I took my eye off the monitor for a sec, so I don't know why my mic does it sometimes. But anyway, yeah. So a new. So you did hear the bit from the housemaster. Is that cool? So yeah, a new boy walks in. He's said about your age. About 16ish, floppy dark hair, in a pristine school uniform, obviously new, and sort of very perfectly fit to him. And the housemaster says, "Yes, this is young Master Morgenstern, Sirius Morgenstern. I hope you will, as I said, make him welcome here. He will point to one of the desks towards the back, actually near where both Emmett and Lysander and Shawn are sat. If you want to put your things there at that desk, Master Morgenstern, I believe that is free, and the porters will take your belongings up to the dormitory, where there's a free bed for you. Well, I shall leave you to get on with it, and he will turn to leave, but then see Callum say, Master McLaughlin, good to see you back on your feet again. It was a nasty knock you took, and he'll approach you to speak. The new boy, he's got kind of a sort of small case with him that he brings over and sort of deposits on this desk. He'll smile at those around and say, "Oh, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Sirius. I look forward to spending time with you." And he turns to you, Shawn, and gives you a smile. And as he locks eyes with you, there's a familiarity there.
Okay. What does that case look like then?
The case, it looks old. It looks old but well cared for. It's bound in quite pale leather, with kind of silver edging to it, and he sort of unclips it and starts taking out some sort of a pen and ink set and all that sort of thing, and starts arranging it neatly in his desk.
Yeah. Shawn is gonna sit there acting like he's keeping his cool for about 10 seconds, and then stand up and walk over to him. I think half the way he gets there, he waves to Lysander. Psst.
Callum is
So you're whispering to Lysander to get him to come over with you?
Yeah, and you can see Shawn is like nervous.
Yeah, I think Lysander like locks eyes with Callum and is sort of like he locks his eyes by rolling them over to Callum. It's like, okay. And then he gets up after Shawn and like begins to like do the like over exaggerated sneak sounds. Like, I guess we're doing this.
I think Callum is more interested in the boy's things than in the boy himself. So he's kind of eyeing up what could possibly be worth nicking, just to have, just in case he turns out to be, I don't know, a werewolf or whatever. It's good to be prepared. So, Sirius, yes? I'm sort of looking, browsing as if his pens were on display.
Yes, that's right, Sirius. And you are...
Callum, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. He shakes hands.
So, where do you come from?
My family are overseas at the moment. They've sent me here.
Well, clearly you didn't come here with your mommy, daddy, and your mayordomo. Welcome to Santa Osana. I'm sure you'll have a pleasant stay.
Thank you. That's most kind of you.
Well, he's not stolen anything from you, so that's about as kind as he gets.
And he's
Me,
serious.
I would never.
No, he's been knocked on the head. Now he doesn't have the hand-eye coordination.
And Lysander puts his arm around Shawn, just sort of like a united front against Callum's. Like, if you, Sirius, really want to get to know what Saint Osana's like, we can show you around a lot more and a lot better places than Callum can get to.
Callum will be busy reviewing his notes.
Can Emmett pipe up for a sec?
Please!
Say, don't trust him, new kid. He'll eat you alive, that one.
Please, gentlemen, this is not a competition. And I understand that you need to show how big and tough you are, but I've got no quarrel with you. And Sirius, we're all very happy to have you here. I put down the pen that I was already playing with and go to the other rooms. As
Callum leaves, Shawn kind of like grazes his head and like squeezes a little bit at the soft spot.
Wait, whose head?
Callum's.
Oh. How does that work again? Do you just grab me and squeeze my head?
So
or?
it's like it would be like he's grazing your hair, but as he does it, he's kind of like applying pressure.
Are you attempting like a shutdown roll or like lashing out physically?
I'm not trying to hurt him. This is like a warning.
Yeah, I was saying it does sound more just like a dick move.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think that sounds like an attempt at a shutdown there. We'll see how this turns out.
Shutdown is...
Oh, I can't remember if I linked... shutdown is roll with cold, and there's the roll for your party if you need it. I can't remember if I linked that earlier.
Okay, I got a 4.
Nice. I think I think at that point, as you're sort of reaching out, Mr. Dunt has actually been walking over, and he doesn't seem to be paying like lots of attention, but he says, "Yes, Master McLaughlin, if you wouldn't mind." And what do you think you are doing? Please keep your hands to yourselves, young man.
Oh, it looked like his bandage was coming off. I just want him to be careful.
Do you think I was born yesterday? You can go out into the corridor and help the porters move Master Morgenstern's things up to the dormitory. Thank you very much.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, boy. Do not make me repeat myself. You will not like me when I am angry.
I think it's really hard for Shawn to leave right now. Because he's just found a new toy.
I'm turning to the is he headmaster or headmaster?
The housemaster, yeah. So he's responsible for you in specific, yeah.
Right. So I'm turning to the housemaster and say, please, sir, do not hold it against him. If Shawn is imagining things coming off me, it really is neither of our problems. I think I'm attempting a turn on.
Yeah, sure. So who are you trying to target with that?
I'm definitely targeting Shawn.
Right, yeah.
But as a comment that's sort of casually uttered towards the housemaster.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
So for rolling, and I rolled 7 again.
Sure. So, Shawn, you can choose to either give Callum a string, or take one of the 3 reactions, which is to give yourself to him, promise him something you think he wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
I choose now?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, because he's not getting a string. Okay. I will.
Oh, no, so you get to choose. You can give him a string, or you can choose one of those 3 things. Yep. Because he only got a 7 to 9, so he doesn't get both.
Yes, I'm going to give a string.
Sure thing.
Which I think looks like giving him a conspiratorial look. And I want to use a move to find out a secret from my dark power about this teacher.
Certainly. Yep. So I believe that means the dark string gets gets a string on you, which I will just make a note of quickly before I. And he will say yes. There is no need to. I'm sure Matron did a perfectly fine job on tying those bandages. She is a most intelligent and diligent woman, and especially good at knots. I mean, that's quite enough of all this nonsense, boys. And he storms out of the room, flushing red. Cool. So
Shawn is going to turn around and face Sirius again and ask him what he had for breakfast this morning.
I skipped breakfast this morning, actually. I am rather peckish.
Oh, that's right. Then you should eat something with me next to me. We're both eating.
Yes, that would be. If that would be good if we could, yes, get something to eat.
I think he's absentmindedly picking up one of these pens and like almost crushing it in his hands.
Whatever. I'm not hungry. You guys do what you want. Shawn, you've been acting weird lately. Emmett, learn to shut up. And Lysander's going back to his seat. Fuck this noise.
Nice. Cool.
Okay, so I think Callum, being disrespected as he was, would go to the dormitory to immediately grab something of Shawn's.
Sure thing.
And if there is something that can be grabbed, something that could be a conduit for dark magics, something personal, I don't know, a pair of his favorite pillow, I don't know, a letter that he keeps in his drawer, anything. And Callum doesn't give a shit if there's if he makes a mess or if this being stolen is visible. And he's furious right now.
Sure thing.
Emmett would like to follow him back to the dorms.
Yeah, sure. So I think that sounds fair. So yeah, I think that Callum, you definitely, because you're not really making any effort to be subtle about this, so I think you absolutely can steal something from Shawn. He's otherwise distracted at the minute, but Emmett will be able to just quite easily walk in on you doing so.
No problem.
You find a bow tie.
Okay, so I have a bow tie, and I take this bow tie and I put it in the middle of the room, and I start lighting it on fire while humming and bowing in a sort of half trance.
And it's just sort of kind of come over and look without saying anything. Like, look, it's just very, what?
I would imagine that casting a spell as a witch requires focus enough that the ritual might just complete before Callum gains awareness of his surroundings.
Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, what hex are you going for?
I'm kind of tempted to do a non-violence hex, but nah, I'm gonna try the other one, the one that creates illusions and all sorts of weird crap.
Excellent.
Yes.
And that's a 10.
Nice. So
great.
So I believe that means it just works, and you can stop it whenever you want.
Yes. So I can also pick one from illusion that is happening, and I have a choice of snakes and bugs, demonic visages, false prophecies, or non-existent subtext. I think the subtext will get me in trouble. Snakes and bugs kind of. Meh. Is Shawn afraid of snakes or bugs?
Maybe I'd say I'm more excited by all the other.
I see. I
choices.
think I'm gonna go for false prophecies, kind of,
Mhm.
heavenly voices that speak the truth, and they're being uttered by people around you.
So, and I do have this dark power. So, if you want to leverage that in some way,
I was thinking about going the opposite way,
opposite way. Okay, cool.
as in sort of illusions that you might be up to punishment from the heavens.
I'm not usually for the hex of subtext, but Shawn is going with serious. Maybe you cast him to hear romantic subtext from everyone.
I quite like the false prophecies. I think if I don't think that's something I can work with. If everyone's cool with that.
I'm cool with that, and I also don't think that Callum would be interested in creating romantic subtext for Shawn. It's not the kind of revenge that he imagined.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Yeah. No, it is a cool. I really like that. I think I used that in a game once. Actually, I think it's a really nice idea. But yeah, I think this is quite a fun one. So yeah, I think we will.
Does Emmett do anything, or does he just let it finish?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I think he just sort of stands and stares.
Is he there when Callum's done?
Oh, absolutely. I like the idea of him just having been there the entire time, and Callum just realizing that.
So I suppose that Callum would sort of finish his humming. Look at him. You're still mine.
Sorry, what? I didn't catch that on.
Sort of do the evil face turn. Like, see what I can do. You're still mine. With a grin on his face, as if the whole thing was staged just for him.
Okay. I was coming to talk to you, but I guess I won't.
Oh, but please do. And he gets up and starts dusting himself off.
You. Oh. Okay. Look, you're interested in all this weird stuff going on here, right? That's what you want? You want to know about weird stuff?
And the expression on Khan's face goes from kind of vicious to genuine. And he nods silently, but there's less of a grin and more of a smile.
Lysander ate Adrian! He ate him!
Okay, that's a good one. I'll give you that, Emmett.
He ate him! And I found a knife and I stabbed him. It told me to stab him, but he didn't die, and I'm freaking out. And I super don't trust you, but I also think if you're... I don't have anyone on my side. I don't know what's going on, and I don't.
The Callum looks at the ashes of the bow tie and like, did it backfire? Is that impossible? Is it? Are you being serious? Are you, or is it one of the?
Why would I be?
Okay. Oh. Okay. Take a deep breath, Tin Man.
Don't call me that.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Okay. Once you know, tell me more about it.
Okay. Here, take this knife. I don't want it. That's what I want. Wait.
Are you committed to giving me the knife enough to tempt me as a player? Or
Yes. I would like to tempt you.
if you're tempting me, I'm going for it. If not, I'll probably try to shake it because I'd be interested in sort of knife golem interactions.
That's fair. Yeah, I think then in that case, I think Emmett is like, never mind. I'm sorry. I do what you do. What you do. I'm leaving.
A quick question because I'm a little bit confused. Do you end up giving me the knife or not?
Oh yeah. No, I think he takes it back. Is what I meant.
Right.
Like changes his mind. Like this did not go how I hoped it would. In my weird idea of how I thought this might possibly go.
Okay, so
Because Emmett is hopelessly naive.
as you go away, you notice that Callum is super interested, and he probably wants that knife now.
Cool. Right. I think we will take a 5-minute break there and then return to see Shawn and Sirius and whatever else happens. And I do have a song prepared for our first intermission. And I can find the right window to put it in.
Um, I think we're all here.
Yeah. Mike and sorry, are you here or? Cool. Great. So yes, I think we will snap to Sirius and Shawn. You're walking. There's a little. They call it the refectory. It's a place where you can get some food. There's sort of snack. Well, I say snack food. There's sort of like bread and other stuff available, sort of out of hours. When there's not actually a meal being served. And you'll be heading across. You'll be heading across there when you're passing by. You're passing by the church, and there's a sort of angelic statue outside, and as you're approaching, Shawn, it turns to you. There is still time for you, boy. Turn back while you can. Hope is not lost yet. Abandon the wickedness.
Shawn stops and stares at it. Turns to Sirius. Turns back to the statue. Like looks behind it, looking for the chaplain.
It's funny you should say that because at that point the chaplain steps out of the church, and he his eyes fix on you with a gleam in them. He says, "Repent, boy, repent your wicked ways, and ye shall be freed from sin. But if you carry on in this method, then ye shall be damned for all eternity." And he is going to spend the string he has on you to give you the condition damned.
Okay. Was that you? You have some kind of mechanism on this thing, don't you? And he's like digging around the grass next to it, kind of madly, kind of justify what he saw.
I do not know what you are talking about, boy, but I can smell the scent of darkness upon you. It is a sweet and sickly scent, tempting but dangerous, and you must turn back from it.
Oh, you're tempted by me. Is that it? And he stands up,
I get all the power I need I get all the strength I need from a higher power. I have no need of your petty temptations.
What's Sirius's response to all this?
He's kind of stepped back a little. He's eyeing you oddly. And also the priest. He doesn't seem to have reacted to the statue at all. But he clearly, he doesn't look disturbed as such, but he looks surprised, concerned.
What should I do? He asks Sirius. What do you want me to do? And his fists are clenched. And his eyes boring into the chaplain.
If you will, come inside and take the sacrament, perhaps there is yet hope for you.
That question is actually for Sirius.
Ah, right, sure, sorry. I think we should leave this place. It is unusually powerful.
I know someone that can help. And I go to find Lysander.
Sure. Okay, so where will Lysander be at present?
Well, since I've been given the okay to go ahead with my advance,
Yep.
Me and the rowdy boys are hunting down Emmett, because Emmett needs to learn to shut his fucking mouth.
Fair. Cool. So I'm just going to briefly remind myself of the people that you've inducted into your little coterie.
Ashley, and Xander.
Yeah, cool.
Not Ashley.
Yep. He was tired of being picked on. He needs someone to.
Boy, Ashley.
Awesome. Yeah. So, you will presumably bump into him, Emmett, as he's leaving the dormitory.
Yeah, I think he's not.
I wanted to lead him into like something of a trap. I wanted to actually like to find him and have some kind of pudding or pie to share with him and bring him into the location where Amir and Xander and Lysander will be waiting. Like, if that's okay.
Sure thing.
Yeah, so when Emmett is eventually... We get a lot of use out of that prefect's room that we designed, or that place that's supposed to feel homey and never does.
Yeah.
So once Emmett comes in there, like the door is slammed shut behind him by the awkward, nerdy Xander. And Amir is sitting on a table just looking over. And there's a sound of something scraping on the ground with Lysander and a cricket bat coming towards him.
What are you?
What am I doing?
I mean, not you. I know what you're doing.
Well, you see, I think what happened to me can happen to other people. And as long as we're careful and no one tells about us, we'll be happy for a long, long time. And you know way too fucking much, man.
What about you murdering people? Is that what I know too much about?
It was only one person, not people. Don't try to increase this by anything. And he fucking deserved it. You know he did. What is one good thing he's ever done for any of us?
You also deserved it.
Yeah, but I came out on top, didn't I?
And I think I would like to try to keep my cool here by and not like instead of like banging on the door trying to get out by taking like pulling out the knife and sort of holding it in a defensive position. And I'd like to use the hope there is to embody anxious with a blank canvas.
That sounds cool. Yeah, no, that sounds fair. I mean, you know, it's probably obvious here, but what do you fear will happen?
I fear that I'm gonna get eaten.
Yeah, that's you know, yeah, that's probably not a bad thing to fear at this point. Cool. So, yeah, if you would like to roll with cold, and you will get I believe it's a +1 from blank canvas.
Yeah, so that's a 3 + 1 - 1.
Oh dear. So, yeah.
I have an idea if you're waffling on a hard move.
I think this is obviously is going to play leave you in a position where I think you will have free reign over what happens next. But I think as you draw the knife and point it towards Lysander and the others, you feel a jolt of pain going through your hand. It's real, like intense pain, and you just hear a voice in the back of your head, and it just says, "I am so very sorry, but he's so much more powerful than you." And the pain gets so intense that you are forced to drop the knife to the floor. And yes, Lysander, what do you do?
I recognize this knife because it is the one thing I remember from being stabbed with it. And with seeing it, Lysander get sort of wide-eyed. Oh, I ate the wrong one. But you were there. How did it feel? I mean, so far I've only killed, but... And I guess I have been killed, and I don't know how that feels like. You didn't let me be awake when you did it. You didn't let me look in your eyes and see the way it drained from me. Oh, this is going to be a work of art for both of us, don't you think? And I want to activate ending. I will give you the condition morbid, which is not going to come back to bite me in the ass at all with any of your moves during this battle. And I will attempt to turn you on with cold.
All right, go for it. I think Emmett is just fetal position at this point. Like,
I got an 8.
Cool. Yes. So Emmett, you get the usual choice here. You can either choose to give him a string, or you can choose one of the 3 reactions.
I think I like. I guess Emmett isn't really sure what Lysander might want that he could give him. So I want to do. I promise something I think you might want, but could it be a more general, like, sort of promise to do what you want?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I think that's cool. I think maybe what. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think we'll say that you're essentially open to. Like, I'm trying very carefully to phrase this in a way that we're not getting anywhere unpleasant with it.
I think I have a way to make this work. I think Lysander is standing over you with the cricket bat, and then you just see it slip out of his hands. He kneels down. I don't want to kill you. I've never wanted to kill you. Well, once, but it passed. I've seen how Shawn looks at you. I can't kill you. Not in being good with him. So, just promise you'll never tell about what happened with Adrian, and this will all be over.
I promise.
See, boys? Everything worked out fine, and no one had to die. I'm getting better. And Lysander will get up and open the door, and I think this is where he run into Shawn and Sirius in the hallway or something.
Yep, that sounds good.
Can I sort of jump into here with something that might change how the events unfold going forward?
Oh dear gods.
Because I think that Callum, as much as he didn't expect Emmett to come forward like he did, he probably doesn't want to take any chances, and he still has the sympathetic token on Lysander. So I think that literally the next thing he would do after Emmett is gone is to try casting Binding on Lysander to prevent any bloodshed. I mean, after all, it's kind of reasonable. And the token he has is a Josephine Baker record. But I think vinyl burns, right?
Or, I'm just going on one here, you could play the record backwards.
And someone, Shawn, thank you very much. Yeah, I suppose I could play it backwards and see where it gets me.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, and I think we'll say narratively, it takes a little while for you to get the ritual set up, so it doesn't sort of take into effect until after that confrontation, just to sort of avoid dampening the dramatic irony. But that's
unless there is a hard move that you want to leverage when someone is getting slugged.
Yeah,
that was my original intention as a player.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, no, that's cool. So yeah, if you want to roll for your
and that's an 8, 9. That's not great.
Okay, so this is the first time we've had to look at this one. So on a 7 to 9, it works, but choose one. Either the casting does you 1 harm, the hex has weird side effects, or you go into darkest self.
I think I'm going to go to the darkest itself.
Fair enough. That's yeah, that's always fun when the witch goes darkest self. This
Just FYI, I don't put up with anyone's bullshit anymore. And to escape my darkest self, I must offer the peace to the one who have hurt me the most. And I think that's quite obvious at this point who did.
Yep, cool. That's brilliant. So yeah, I think what we see is you sprinkle salt on the record and play it backwards and chant along with the kind of nonsense words that come out. And
I would also imagine that the record is destroyed in the process somehow.
Yeah. I think as it's playing, and it's obviously playing from the inside out, and it kind of almost like spirals up, like peeling an orange, almost just this long thin black thread that weaves up, and it
I think it would be quite poetic if it just started skipping when the spell
yeah
started working.
And this kind of long black thread of probably it's an old sort of Josephine Baker one, so it's probably not even like vinyl, it's probably like Bakelite or whatever they used to be made out of, and it like worms up, like almost crawls into your mouth and down your throat and back up again, and you can feel like blackness and darkness suffusing you as this like threads out, and as it comes out of your mouth, it comes out almost like dark smoke that roils away under the door from the dormitory and out. And as Lysander is exiting the room, you probably don't even notice it as Shawn approaches you, but this black smoke just wreathes up and around you and around your hands briefly and then fades away again. So yeah, Shawn and Lysander are you sort of bump into each other with your respective gaggles of cronies or single crony, as the case may be.
Lysander, I was looking for you.
Oh, you were. That's nice. I think I've done you a favor today.
Oh, are you ready for another one?
Perhaps.
I like it when you do favors for me.
That's
Go
definitely
on.
a turn on there. Sorry, but I have my standards. Yeah, no. So if you want to roll with hot, and we'll see how I probably won't necessarily go for a very hard move if this one fails, but that's just too good a line not to.
I'm gonna let that fail.
Looking at aggressive is the only condition I think you can tag, but I don't know if that'd even work with this situation. Though I did just come from threatening a dude into silence.
Yeah. So I think actually I'm just going to go for the straightforward one here, and Lysander, you can take a string on Shawn, because you know he's trying to, as much as you want it, you can feel that he's just trying to like get you to do what he wants. And yeah, carry on. So
there's someone. You've never been very religious, Lysander.
I was, but I found something better.
Good. Yeah, me too. You won't take offense to this, then, knowing that the chaplain is not the kind of chaplain who should really be at a boys' school. And
Did he touch you?
I could just read it in his eyes.
I don't think I like the way to look at you then, if he's making you this uncomfortable. Boys, let's go see about a replacement. He's old enough to retire.
Yeah, and I think Shawn, like just lightly caresses your arm as you order everybody off.
Are you trying to stop him before he heads off?
No.
Okay, and I think Lysander will like grab your hand and we'll just sort of touch it a little bit. It's like, I'll be back. Don't worry. I always come back.
Shawn turns towards Sirius and says, "Let's get that meal."
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Lysander, you and your gang will head off towards the church. Emmett, is there anything you want to do once the others have left your left the room you're in?
I'm debating whether I should try talking to the knife and gaze into the abyss, or try to destroy the knife.
Yep. Both of those are definitely options that you have.
Can I gaze into the abyss by trying to smash the knife?
Yes, that is fair. I definitely that's cool. So how are you going to try and break this knife? You are able, you touch it and it doesn't have the same pain. It's not almost like before, it felt almost like it was electrically charged, and that seems to have gone out of it now again. So it's
I just want to punch it. It's on the ground. I just want to hit it repeatedly with my small but powerful golem fists.
Sure thing. Okay, I'm guessing the question you're asking here is how do I destroy this? Or
the question is more what are you and what do you want?
Sure thing. Okay, that's cool. That works. So if you would like to roll with dark.
That's a 9. Is there a condition? I would have had to do that beforehand. Never mind.
What conditions do you have? I'm just going
to have morbid, unconvincing, and wanker.
Actually, I will let you use unconvincing if you want for that, because that was specifically tied to you being an object. So I think that works.
All right. Sorry, just cracking up at Slavic in the chat saying wanker. Nice. Okay, that would make that a 10 then.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I've had that one since the first session.
Yeah.
Second session.
as you kind of beat this, beat the knife on the floor, punching it over and over again, you get that sort of almost like clarity come over you. A lot of the anxiety and frustration that had built up in you, whether you realize it or not, during your previous confrontation, is kind of flowing out of you. And as you're doing this, the room almost fades to black, and you can still see the knife there, but it's glowing. It's glowing red hot, white hot even, and sparks are flying up from it as you're beating it, until a figure dressed in long robes. They're edged in these sort of symbols that you sort of half recognize, braided into sort of the edge of these robes, dark, heavy robes with gold braiding in them, long cowled hood down over the face. And this knife, still glowing red hot, is placed on the sort of pillow and taken off, and you see it being used, still singeing the skin a little bit, to carve the heart out of someone, and the heart is placed inside an intricately ornate golden casket. And the heart, the person whose heart has been cut out, is lying obviously motionless on the slab. And again, they're dressed in sort of, very old looking clothes, ancient looking clothes. The sort of almost like an Egyptian style kind of skirt type thing, and obviously bare chest because they're just having their heart carved out. And as this casket is taken away and placed on the wall, another attendant in these dark robes comes in and sews their chest up, sews up the wound neatly down their chest. And they light incense around the body and chant a few words. And the body sits up, and the man smiles, and the two people in robes sort of kneel down as he stands up and walks out of the room. And
do I recognize?
Yes, this specific man you don't know. He looks kind of Middle Eastern, North African, maybe, but you don't specifically recognize them. Though it's definitely the same knife. And actually, as you think on it, that the casket looks familiar as well. You think that was also in the down in the Undercroft, in the crypt thing. But yes, you are inherently aware that this knife can take life from the living and give it to the dead or the unliving.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, I know what I want to do, but I feel like we could cut to it. Said it can give life to the it can give life to the take life and give it life to the unliving. So I don't know. I know what I want to try to do, but it also seems like we could cut to a different scene from there.
Yep, sure thing. And yeah, obviously you will gain a +1 forward to acting on that information. So that's cool. I think we are going to yeah, I think we will cut to sorry, we will cut to Lysander as he enters the church.
Just to, and I'm fine with whatever answer. Am I unable to give orders to be violent as well as just not be violent myself?
No. When you realize that's the thing, that you will be able to find a way around it. But yeah, you might have to take an alternate approach to.
The text of the hex literally said the person cannot physically harm others.
Yes, but I have a gang. That's what I was asking.
Right.
Yeah, so I think what Lysander walks in thinking he's going to be a troublemaker, and it's like takes his cricket bat to the the fountain of holy water, and stops right before it hits. It's like, and he sort of thinks like, maybe just, I think it doesn't stop; it just swings way too far over it, and looks at it and it's like, I'm not here for that anyway. We've come for service.
I was not expecting to see you here, boy. But then I wasn't expecting to see you again at all. What do you wish from me?
I want to know what your problem is with Shawn, and to see how to handle that problem the best I can.
It is not my problem with Shawn. It is his own problem. I am more than willing to teach him to turn away from that which he wishes to embrace, and to find a holier path, a more sacred path upon which he can tread.
Okay, I'm good with words, but this sounds very circular, or at least not secular. So you're trying to get him to convert from liking guys.
That would certainly be a start. But
Ooh.
I fear there are worse sins than merely that upon his shoulders, and it will only get worse in time.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really believe in sin. And he'll try to just knock him, like run down the aisle and hit him with the cricket bat.
Yeah, and this is, as you're running and as you're swinging the cricket bat, and you can feel that desire to break him and to beat him, and you swing the bat, and you just can't bring yourself to do it, not mentally but physically. And this seems just like vaguely familiar. It's niggling at the back of your head.
If I can, I think like every time there's like a calming Josephine Baker song that he just sort of is listening to, like when he notices he's not being violent, and then the music stops. It's just kind of a. He again tries with the cricket bat, this time closer, and nothing happens. He gets really, really angry. Okay then, fellas, I'm having problems. Please help. I am sicking my gang on him.
Amir is going to kind of look around and say, look, are you really sure you want us to go through with this? It doesn't seem like a very sensible...
I'm offering you eternal life on Earth. The best he can give you is eternal life after you're dead. Who are you going to listen to? Spinning my string on a mirror to tempt him into violence.
Certainly. Yep. And the priest is going to the vicar is going to the chaplain, I should say, is going to just chuckle and say, "Do your worst, heathen." And Amir grabs like one of those big, tall candle holders, the sort of well, not floor to ceiling, but the sort of man height ones, and swings it and knocks the priest to the floor. And I'm going to spend a string that I have on you as a voice. Sounds like it's whispering in your ear almost. It says, "He is a zealot. Violence will teach him nothing. The only way to stop him is to do so permanently. And I will offer you a string if you order your gang to kill him."
You mean experience if I do?
Yes, sorry. Yes, that's something. Yes, sorry. I will offer you an experience if you.
I am fine with that. Is send him to his just rewards, boys, and you'll get yours.
Excellent. Yeah, I will. We can.
I think I'll be busy for a while. What I want to do with my crew is I think I promised them the eternal life that I've found. So feel free to keep me out of the action for a few hours as I kill them and bury them and wait for them to come back as like I am.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Okay. So. I think we will. So I think we will go to the refectory where Shawn and Sirius are finally sitting down to eat. And there's a large old painting in the refectory of Saint Osana herself in spectral form, whipping a woman with a cat of nine tails through the streets. It's a really messed up story. And as you enter, the face in the portrait will turn to you, Shawn. Harlot of Lucifer, you have no place here. Begone, or face the wrath of the Almighty. You desecrate this place with your blasphemous thoughts.
I think Shawn freezes in place.
Yeah, I think actually, I think if you want to just like sit down and eat in here, you're going to have to keep your cool.
I like that. Let's do that.
Yep. So what do you fear will happen?
I think I'm afraid I'll start talking back to the portrait.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
And this weird, serious guy won't like that. Is he like behaving? He seemed like a normal guy, by the way.
Yeah, broadly speaking, he there doesn't seem anything particularly out of the ordinary about him. He's seems perfectly personable. He definitely does not seem to be reacting in any way to the what's going on with the painting. Again, he's possibly, as you kind of flinch at it, he might. Again, he's kind of looking slightly concerned-ish, but again, not overly so. But yeah, if you want to roll with cold.
Okay, I got a 9.
A 9.
I don't think there's any way I can increase that.
Sure thing. So yeah, on a 9, on a keep your cool, you can. Bear with me one sec. Yeah, so you can, if you will be able to sit down with Sirius and eat with him and remain perfectly what's the word I'm looking for? And basically, yeah, be calm and sit and enjoy a meal and not get too weirded out. But you will take the condition paranoid if you choose to do so, or you can just choose to leave this place. And again, you can leave calmly, but you will have to leave if you don't do that.
Yeah, I'll definitely take paranoid, and it manifests has me like I've got my arms around my meal, kind of hunched over it, and I'm like looking at my sides every once in a while as I'm trying to focus on this familiar face.
Are you quite all right, Shawn? You seem a little distracted.
I'm sure everything will be fine soon. I think Lysander is going to take care of it. I'm sure that'll help.
Perhaps you're right. Well, if there is anything I can do for you, all you have to do is ask. You know that. Yeah.
Have you ever seen things? I mean, if you ever saw things, would you know how to make them not be seen anymore? And what I'm doing is I want to ask my dark power, to take away the visions I'm having.
Certainly. Yes. Yes, the dark power can absolutely do that. And this is sorry, I just need to refresh myself. I've not played with the Infernal for a while, so I just have to double check the with the strings attached. Doubt have something. The MC will attach a price to the thing you want and hint at an undesired twist in its nature. Okay, yes. I will take the cost. You will hear the voice say, "I can take these visions away. I can take control of these visions. I can ensure that you see nothing that would disturb you." And essentially, it will cost. You will gain the dark power will gain another string on you for this, and could potentially do their own thing with the visions if they want. But that's they can get rid of the visions if you're willing to pay that price.
I'm definitely willing to pay that price. Is there a way that I'm just hearing this in the voice, and is Sirius giving me a totally different response?
So Sirius will sort of lean forwards and just put a hand on your shoulder and say, "Don't worry, it will be fine. I'm sure of it. You'll be fine." And yeah, the portrait goes back to normal. And stops shrieking at you. And I think that's where we will call our break before we come back for the last hour. So yeah, if people want to think what they might want to try and push in this last hour, I think there's some fairly obvious things that are likely to happen, but we'll see where it all shakes out.
I don't have any idea who cursed me, right? Who hexed me?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
There's no indication of who did currently. And I'll stick up. I'll have to look up a bonus Josephine Baker song as well as.
Can you play it backwards?
That's probably beyond my my immediate audio skills, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes, and yeah, we'll get into the last shake. Cool. Is everyone back? Awesome. So, I guess we'll go back to I think Callum. We'll see what. So obviously you successfully cast your binding spell on Lysander. What and you are now in your darkest self.
I'm not entirely sure if I should. I don't think Callum has a plan. And I, as a player, certainly don't have one.
Sure,
so
sure.
maybe you could set me up in some sort of a situation. Or maybe follow someone else and not jump in.
Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. Yeah, so in which case, Emmett, what? So you've obviously had this vision about the knife. So what is your next plan?
I want to go out to the woods, where to where Lysander ate Adrian. Was there anything left of Adrian?
I'm not a hyena, so bones.
Okay.
Which I imagine were deposited in the convenient shallow grave.
I'm thinking that Callum could actually try to find Emmett. So if you're okay with it, maybe Callum can go with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like Emmett would want him to tag along, but I'm fine with Callum following him.
Yeah, that's cool.
And want to try to dig up whatever's left of Adrian.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
So Callum is sort of following like 25 meters behind, hands in the pockets, nonchalance.
Cool. So yeah, Emmett, you get to this little sort of copse of woods, copse of trees rather, and yeah, you can see the what was Shallow Grave has been covered over again with dirt, but it's obviously I imagine not a particular effort to hide or bury it that deep. So you can just scramble through the dirt if you want to try and pull these bones out. But I think this is probably going to have to be a keep your cool because you're, rifling through someone's grave.
Sure, and I'm going to use the condition morbid.
Yeah.
Canvas.
That seems eminently suitable.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to roll with cold.
That's a 7.
7, cool. So yes, I think obviously you can just decide to leave the bones as they are, not interfere with them, or you can go ahead with digging them up. However, someone will see you do this. So, well, I should say someone other than Callum will see you do this, though they won't take any immediate action to stop you. But what you've done will be noted.
Sounds good to me.
Sure thing. So yeah, you scramble through and dig with the sort of the soil gets under your fingernails, and it's got that sort of damp, woodsy smell to it. There's a lot of leaf mold in there, and just underneath it, that scent of decay and of blood. And you pull out bones, and they're relatively clean bones. Not entirely. There's some bits of cartilage and gristle hanging onto them still, but and there are scrape marks along the bones. And you pull out the skull.
I suppose Callum approaches and hands still in his pocket with a wry smile says, "Alas, poor Adrian."
Get out of here, Callum.
Didn't you want to convince me that this was real?
Yeah, and you made your intentions perfectly clear.
Old news. I've changed my mind. And Callum reaches into the grave and pulls out a femur. The cleaner of the two. Well, I've come to make a deal. Would you care to listen, or should I just get away and never speak to you again?
What do you want?
Oh, that's quite easy. If you kill Shawn for me, I will kill Lysander for you. And it points the femur at Emmett. That's a good deal, isn't it?
No, because you won't. Because you can't.
So if I do, that's a deal, isn't it?
If you show me that you can kill Lysander and make him stay dead, sure. Want to help me put these bones together?
Not really. Why would you do that?
I want to try. I'm trying something.
Please elaborate.
No.
Well, I suppose I'll take this one with me. Might come in handy.
No, you won't.
I totally will.
I'm gonna, sort of brandish the knife at him. It's sort of like, he's a little manacrite.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. After all, you want to see me kill Lysander, don't you?
I don't believe you can.
Well, without this, I certainly won't. I suppose that he could be... I don't know. Where do you think Lysander might be?
I don't know.
See,
Said, I think I heard Shawn asking him something about a priest.
a priest? We only have one of those. You're fantastic. I'm really looking forward to owning you. Now, if you'll excuse me, Callum goes straight towards where the priest would be. I'm not sure if
Emmett sort of shouts after him. Owning me wasn't part of the deal. Are you leaving the femur, by the way?
No, he's taking the femur with him.
No, you're not. Emmett is gonna.
If you want to stop me, you can try.
Emmett is going to. If you're going to try to leave with the femur, then Emmett will try to stop you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to, I suppose, escape with the femur. Does it count as escaping if I'm just on my way out?
Yeah, if you're going to actually, I think if Emmett is going to try and yeah prevent you from leaving, then yeah, you can absolutely make a runaway check to see if you can escape before he can stop you, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try, sort of trotting to the chapel in a way that prevents him from catching me. And I've got terrible volatile, and I rolled a 7, so that's a 6. So no, it doesn't work. But I've got I know that Emmett is a golem, so, and I get +1 when acting on that knowledge. So perhaps I could leverage his clay movements against him.
You also just have a string on me. Looks like.
Yeah, but strings are better than +1s, right?
No, I think that's fair. I think you've still got that +1 forward, so yeah, that'll take you up to a 7. Because yeah, you didn't get a chance to use it last time, so yeah, that's cool. So
and leaving while Lysander is sort of confused, I toss him Adrian's fountain pen. I'm like, here, you can use that instead.
Cool. So that's your choosing to leave something behind.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And it kind of picks up the pen. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then I want to go back and try to sort of lay out the bones in as close to the original formation as I can get them.
Sure thing. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. You can manage that.
And then I'm gonna I'm guessing it's really mostly just a skeleton at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, it's just a skeleton.
So I mean, I think Emmett looks at it kind of like horrified, but steels himself and stabs the skeleton with the magic knife. And he wants to, I mean, Emmett is trying to see if he can basically reanimate Adrian's remains.
Sure thing. I'm just thinking. So yeah, I think what I'm just going to say is you plunge the knife into the skeleton, and you can sort of feel a kind of surge through the knife, but nothing happens. I think the bone that you stuck the blade into, sort of under the chest bones, I'm sort of assuming, or maybe the actual what you call it, the breastbone sort of thing,
the sternum.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It kind of crumbles into powder. I think yeah, if you can roll me a gaze into the abyss, I think again.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you want to know, or what question do you want to ask of the
I mean, essentially, is this possible? Can I do this thing with the knife? I guess is the gist of it. But any related information would be welcome as well.
Yep, that's cool. Yeah, no, that gives me a ballpark to work with. That's I mean, again, it's what I assumed you'd want to know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a 9, and
Do
I don't.
you have any strings left on Adrian?
I do have 1 string left on Adrian.
You can spend that.
Awesome.
So, as the power, as it sort of ebbs from the knife a little, you can feel it there, but it's doesn't seem grounded. And the skull, the jaw moves and says, "It's a little too late for me, dear boy. What soul I had, I think, is somewhere else now. Not here anymore, not in these old bones. And really, life was boring enough already, and without flesh and the few pleasures it could still bring me, I don't see what would be the point in going on anymore. But I can feel the power in this. You could definitely harness it. Use it for yourself. Go on, treat yourself. You know what you want now. But
I guess. Yeah.
you'll need the heart, though.
Thanks.
And the skull stills again.
That seems like a scene to me.
Yep. Okay. So we will switch back to so Shawn, I think. What's your next move? Do you think?
Right. I think Shawn wants to know a secret about Sirius. Really, Shawn wants, like, okay, it's not a box anymore, it's a person. But Shawn doesn't really want a person. Shawn wants something that he can just use and have. And, so that's what he wants. That's what he's going to beseech the dark power for. Or that's the secret, like, specifically he wants to know, like, what part of Sirius is the dark power. And what I'm trying to do is take another string, give my dark power another string as well.
Certainly. I'm sure you're aware of this, but this will bring the dark power up to 5 strings on you, which will trigger your darkest self. So Lysander does lose that one though. So the Oh, Shawn, Shawn, Shawn. I almost feel bad for exacting such price for such simple answer. You really ought to listen to more pop songs. The heart, of course. The heart is the most important thing.
Okay. Hmm. And we're in the cafeteria right now.
Mm. Here's the thing.
I'm going to. Sorry, I missed that.
No, that's okay. Sorry, I was just. So, here's the thing. I have some measure of control over this boy. I can make him do what I want. But making someone do something is very different to them doing it of their own accord. Beneath the church, and beneath the school, beneath them both, there is a crypt. I would like it very much if you can induce this boy down there and, well, do what you must. That would allow me to begin seeking a more suitable host for myself. And he's going to offer you a string if you can lure Sirius down to the crypt.
Right. So I ask Sirius if he's been initiated yet.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. Some sort of school thing, is this?
Oh, yes, you'll be humiliated if you don't know the initiation secrets. And, I can touch his hand. Come on, I'll take you. We'll go now.
Is it what do I have to do? Can you tell me? Can you
Oh, sure. We'll just go to the church and under the church, and I'm sure maybe Lysander, you met him earlier. He'll be there too, hopefully, and that's all. It's just a small ceremony with a fake knife.
I mean, that sounds a bit. Is it really all that necessary?
You don't want to be. You want to fit in, don't you? I mean, it's hard enough for people like us to fit in here anyway.
Cool. So it is that fit. I'm not. Do you feel you're going more for turning him on or essentially shutting him down here to like try and?
If I get the sense that he's even a little bit homo-curious, I'm trying to threaten. Basically, I'm threatening to out him.
Yeah, that's
shutting down.
That definitely sounds like more of a shutdown. That was more the feeling I got, but yeah.
And that's a fat failure.
Okay. So I don't know what you're trying to, and you can see there's almost for a moment behind his eyes that moment of like you can feel there's like sort of an internal conflict going on, and he kind of shakes himself and say, look, you've been awfully kind to me so far, and thank you very much, but I think you might have the wrong idea, and I think it's probably best if I just get back to the dormitory and get my things sorted out. And he's going to sort of stand up and start making for the exit.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll walk you. I get the sense he's heading to the study hall.
Yeah, he's heading back to your house and back. Probably, well, as I said, back to the dormitory, probably.
Okay, back to the dormitory. Okay. I'll walk with you.
Of course, that's fine.
So I'm going to walk with him, and at some point, I'm just going to try to track him to the church.
Yeah, sure thing.
Physically.
So yeah. So if you want to roll me a lash out physically, here, and we'll see how it goes.
Yep, it's another failure. Where's my hollow boy when I need him?
Okay, so who? Does either Callum or Emmett want to run into? I'm saying maybe Callum would probably make more sense. If you're cool with that, Swevik?
I'm not sure, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, so yeah, you're coming down there. You're jogging away from where you were with Emmett, and you see Shawn and Sirius again. They're walking back towards the dormitory, and Sirius, so Shawn rather, just makes a lunge for Sirius and sort of tries to manhandle him, and Sirius like lashes out and throws a punch at him, and Shawn, you can take 1 point of harm from that. But yeah, Callum, what do you do?
I suppose as I can Shawn see me coming, or is it just jogging as he's busy being?
He's probably more distracted at the minute by his attempt to abduct Sirius.
Right. So I think Callum still being in his dark self, as his offer of peace was not accepted by Emmett, would probably take the femur that he's holding, and as he's passing Shawn, just strike his head as if it was a cricket ball. Just boom, with this sort of joyous, sporty kind of movement, and follow through on the strike like a professional cricketer would.
Excellent.
That's definitely meant to deal harm.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to say as you're using a weapon, that's probably going to be 2 harm as base. But yes, you can roll to lash out physically. Lash out physically. That's the move.
Oh, and I have some. Right. So I rolled a 6, which isn't too great, and that's a 5 because my volatile is terrible. I can't spend 2 strings at once, can I?
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Can you use a condition?
Yes, you can.
Oh, you do.
If there's an applicable condition you can leverage, that will give you an additional +1. Whether that is the case,
Prized and damned, and I'm not entirely sure what prize is about.
I have prized, damned, and paranoid.
Oh, you're also paranoid. Well, paranoid doesn't really work. What's the prize about?
I think that damned actually will work in this instance. It feels about right for general, comeuppance type thing.
It's also appropriate that it's a bone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that there's a lot of sort of yeah.
Is it
So
possible for me to spend 2 strings on 2 different things?
yes, but you can then also spend a string on additional harm if you want.
Okay, so I would like to spend both strings, one to get a 7,
Yeah,
and one to deal +1 harm on top of the femur.
certainly. Yeah, so on the 7 to 9, you harm them but choose 1. They learn something about your true nature and gain a string on you. The MC decides how bad the harm turns out, or you become your darkest self. You're obviously already your darkest self, so you can't
Right.
can't use that one.
And I wouldn't really pull the strings if I wanted to, lessen the harm.
Yep.
Which is probably the only direction that the MC might go. So I think I can just expose myself as a completely wicked witch in the process.
Absolutely fair. So
Callum jogs happily and joyously towards the chapel, and then he goes bang right into Shawn's temple. And as he continues his jog, he turns around and taunts his victim. See, Callum wins. Callum always wins.
Nice. Okay, so that will which so this is going to the femur cracks in the side of your skull, and you hit the cobbled floor hard. That will be a total of 3 harm, which will be enough to take you out. You are at this point, you die. We now activate the skirting death move. You can, if you wish, choose to avoid death by either becoming your darkest self or losing all strings you have on everybody. Again, you're already in your darkest self, so you can choose to lose all your strings or just remain dead. We are 15 minutes towards the end now, so either of those is a perfectly acceptable, whichever you feel is the most satisfying ending for your character.
Yeah, I think a continued pitiful existence is I like that a little bit better. So I'm going to give up all my strings on everybody.
Cool.
And just kind of like on my knees, stroking the head as Sirius, I'm sure runs away or whatever.
Yeah, he runs off screaming because this has all got incredibly weird. Actually, also, Swevak, I'm going to say that you can come out of your darker self now because you did just straight up kill someone. I think that's a perfectly fair resolution for.
Okay. Does that count as offering peace to someone who has?
Oh no, sorry. Yes, I was mixing yours up with something else. No, so it's offering peace. And oh yeah, no, sorry. No, you're still definitely darker self. Sorry, I had a feeling it was. I was thinking of someone else whose thing is to go too far, but yeah. I think that's the Fae, maybe. But anyway,
do I need to roll for running away?
No. Sirius has no interest in stopping you, yeah, that's fine. So Lysander, yeah, you have a dead priest, and a small group of boys who you were, I believe, turning into ghouls.
I sort of want to frame a scene, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I think with Shawn being outside and Callum sort of, yay, yay, like you just hear this from the graveyard, and there are several like freshly turned mounds of earth on that Lysander's been overseeing, and he just has a shovel over his shoulder. Well, that was a bastard move.
Ah, Lysander. See, I got one for you. Go on.
I don't want to kill Shawn.
Well, don't you want to eat it?
No.
That's strange.
Actually, now that you come to think of it, you really kind of do.
Yeah. And I think it's like, well, yeah, but I can't. I can't do anything violent. It's really weird. Like, have you ever had to coax someone into breaking their own neck? Well, I guess like you would you break their necks for them?
You can't hurt anybody, right?
I've tried, and the priest was being so mean, and I wanted to, but then I didn't.
Have you tried hurting yourself?
Have
you tried hurting yourself?
Oh, I know I don't want to do that.
I see. Let me help. Bang.
So are you hitting me with the femur, or?
Certainly, but I'm nowhere near as gracious as it went with Shawn.
So yeah, hit me with that femur.
Okay. Okay. There's no rescuing it. I rolled a 3.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what happens is you swing the femur at Lysander's head, and it smashes into his head. The bone shatters, and it appears to do nothing to Lysander. I mean, it obviously only appears to do nothing to Lysander. Obviously, what it does do is break the geas on Lysander, and he is no longer bound to non-violence.
Yeah, Lysander grabs Callum by the shirt, lifts him up. I am hungry. Not for you right now, but I think we can fix this. Boys! And he just tosses Callum to the guys rising out of the grave for their first bite. And walks towards Shawn, because fuck you, Adrian!
Excellent.
Right. Okay, that's not what Callum was planning. That is completely the opposite of what he was planning. He wanted to murder Lysander and let Shawn be taken care of by a golem, and this is just, on its head. The situation is completely unsalvageable. I think I'm gonna try running away for help.
That is fair. Yes, I will. I will let you. I will let you make that roll.
Okay. These will fail me again. I know that, but that's a 7.
Okay, so you will get away, but your options are to
something worse, cause a big scene, or leave something behind. I'm going to cause a big scene.
Yeah. So I think that you managed to run, but the pack of ghouls has your scent now, and they're coming after you. And you manage to get away from them, but this whole thing has got incredibly out of hand. And you can still see like windows opening and people looking out on from the sort of courtyard and stuff around here from their own dormitories, and people can see what's going on.
I'm here if you want to do other people's.
Yeah. So what I will do, I think, is actually switch back to Emmett.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry, my internet completely just shat the bed, so I'm on my phone now, obviously.
Right. No worries.
So I missed a bunch of what happened, but it sounded like fighting Lysander didn't go great for Callum.
Yeah. That's the gist of it. So I'm gonna hard frame you if that's okay.
Yes.
So you've got. Well, sorry, I should say. I assume you are going after the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A heart.
So you push open the heavy iron-bound door covered in that deep blood-red lacquer. And you walk into the crypt, and it's that sort of dark and dim in here, but you can make things out in the gloom. You can see the heart, the golden casket. And now that you've got the knife in your hand, you can almost feel a heartbeat pulse coming from the casket into the knife in your hand. And as you approach it, there's a match being struck and touched to a candle. It's a big, one of those big, fat, white, waxy candles. And you see the face of Dr. Lovelace, the headmaster, illuminated in the candlelight. Oh dear boy, you really cannot stay away from this place, can you? I should not be surprised. I suppose you have something of mine. I ask that you return it to me. And he holds out his hand. What do you do?
Will you return what you took from me?
Very well. But no. I can return your life to you. But it will mean others will die in your place. I require regular feeding. I thought I had found a way to obviate the need for further bloodshed, but it is your decision.
Can I suggest another?
You can suggest, certainly.
I'm sure you're aware, but there's a couple very disruptive students here. Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. That is my usual source. But the choice is yours. Return to me the knife and take what is yours.
I'll do it.
Cool. You pass him the knife, and you open up the casket, and inside is just a simple scroll of paper.
Take the scroll.
And as you take it into your hand, you suddenly feel truly alive again. And you know now that you have a purpose. What that purpose is, we'll come back to briefly. I think the last thing we will resolve now, sort of on camera, as it were, is what happens between Lysander and Shawn, and then we'll do very brief epilogues if people want to. We are running up to 11 o'clock now, so if anyone does need to leave, then obviously feel free to at this point. But if people are happy to just spend a few moments longer, then we can do some epilogues on that. Cool. But yes, so I think this is. We may go to the dice on this, but I suspect this bit will mostly be narrated. So, Shawn and Lysander, what happens?
Oh, I don't want it to end this way, but it kind of has to.
I think maybe this should happen at the church.
Yep. No, this is like in the it was a graveyard. There's kind of a bit of a square around it now, but yeah, it's in the in front of the church.
Yeah, I think Lysander's crying again, but like it's not as emotional as it was before. It's just kind of it's almost crocodile tears. Like he's trying to bring prey in, like he's faking emotion to get people in. It's like, I am sorry,
Yeah. I think Shawn is just like kind of collapses in front of Lysander and is just oblivious to the display of emotion. You have to help me, Sirius. We can bring him here. If we just bring him here and we take him under
I should have seen it. How you look at Emmett, how you look at Sirius, how you look at everyone but me. I can make you mine. I can make it so you'll never, ever leave me. Now, come on.
If that's what it takes. If that's what it takes to... Yes, fine.
And it starts with a kiss, and we should veil it there because it'll get messy really quick.
Yeah.
As the Silent Hill alarm begins to play.
Indeed.
Did you take into consideration that one of you is literally dying?
Yeah, and they're going to stay dead.
It's going to make it extra tasty, right?
Yep. So, we will end there with whatever happens between Lysander and Shawn, which does not end well for Shawn. And so I think if everyone wants to give a brief epilogue scene, this can be. In fact, I would prefer if this epilogue can be 20, 30 years later when you're grown up and living your lives, and what that looks like. Shawn, if you want to come up with just a kind of little nice coda, maybe something involving the Dark Power, and we'll come to you last. In fact, I think if we go in character keeper order again, if people are happy with that.
I have an idea for Lysander, and I think like since he does grow up, he doesn't stay 16 forever. He's not that type of ghoul, but he stays in contact with his three guys. You know, they're those kinds. You know, they go to the frat together. They sign up for everything together. Like they do everything way too connected, and they graduate in the same degree. All that kind of bullshit, and like it ends up with Lysander as a lawyer of some kind and getting a defense attorney, of course, because you got to be a jackass. And he's standing up and he's looking at the like person who's on the stand, and you just see Shawn like behind him whispering the secrets of the person he's like just rattling off, like he has them on his paper, but like the paper's just blank, and it's Shawn telling him like everything the Dark Power has gathered from this guy, because the Dark Power promised that he would have Shawn forever.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I think once Emmett gets that paper, he leaves Saint Osana and he goes home, wherever home is. And I don't know where that is or what his like purpose is, and I'm not really interested in coming up with a specific answer for that. But I think the cut is to like 20, 30 years later. It's like a small village. And there's there's a man, and he's crossing like a dirt road, and a car coming down the dirt road, like way too fast. And I think right before the man is hit by the car, he is pushed out of the way, and you see someone who is like much bigger and bulkier, but clearly 20, 30 years later version of Emmett, helping him up. And I think that's all he wrote. Not quite.
Nice.
Just not quite Batman. Just helping, protecting. Right. That's yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. I think the rumor has it that Callum dies at 27 after overdosing during one of post-gig. Let's call it the lavish behavior, however you like it, but it'll basically be a binge party of utter deviousness and immorality. I imagine Colin continued the path of the arcane, getting deeper and deeper into darker secrets until indulging in his love of music, joining maybe some sort of a black metal band, if that was a thing in the 70s. I think like Black Sabbath is around that old.
Yeah, it's starting around then, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine him as a pioneer of the genre. Right. And I would say that perhaps his life ended at the age of 27 when he joined the club. But whether he actually died or whether he ascended into something more wicked, that's probably a mystery. Maybe for another game.
Nice. And yeah, finally, Shawn, if you want to add anything you want, to be honest, at this point.
I kind of like the ending that Ferret gave me. So I think I'm just going to stick with that.
You're muted, David.
I am. So yes, I was just saying, thank you, everyone. That's it's been a great game. I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Again, if people have time, we'll do a quick roundup of Roses and Thorns at the end. Obviously, again, if you do have to leave, fair play. But otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone watching this, and hope to play with you all soon. Cheers. Bye now.